students, welcome to biology program. Today we will continue the immunity. We describe in the other sessions the skeletal system, also in human or in plant, muscular system. We talked about the reproductive, also the immunity. Now we are describe what is the immunity. Immunity is a system found inside the living organism, plant or human or animal. This immune system protects the living organism from the many diseases. Immunity is important for keeping the life of living organism. What is the immune system? We are going to describe what is the immunity in the first, and then we will describe the immune system in plant and immune system in living organism like human. Okay, we start by the first. What is the immunity in plant? Immunity in plant, the life of any living organism is exposed to continuous threats. Threats means many things that make the life is not complete for the human, either from biological sources or non-biological sources. Okay? First, what are the biological sources? Number one, changing of the body color. This is the first how to make a immunity. Immunity, changing of the body color for camouflage, like chameleon is an animal which can keep its life by change its color. Change the color of the skin. Okay, stimulates by changes this color of skin can make a process known as camouflage. Immunity means what is the threats the living organism. What are the things that threat the living organism. threats means بتهدد حياته. اللي بيهدد حياتنا ممكن enemies, natural enemies or artificial enemies, maybe biological viruses, bacteria. This is invasion or pathogens. These pathogens can make invasion the body and lead the immune system to combat this virus or this pathogen. Changing of the body color for camouflage, secretion of toxins to kill the other organism or enemy, running to escape from the enemy. This is how to cover the immunity. Okay, what is the immunity? Immunity, it is the ability of the body to resist the pathogens and the foreign bodies through the immune system. Okay, immunity, it is the ability of the body to resist the pathogens and the foreign body through the immune system. Okay, whether through preventing the entry of them, means prevent the entry of the pathogen inside the body, okay, of living organism, or by attacking and destroying them when entering the body of the organism. The immunity system works according to two systems, which are innate immunity and acquired or adaptive immunity. Means adaptive immunity or acquired immunity, it is the immunity by using the another helper outside the body. But innate immunity found inside the human body. Okay, like skin, innate immunity, natural immunity. Okay, بنقول عليها natural immunity أو بنقول عليها not acquired immunity. For example, what are the causes of this immune system to work? What makes the immune system to work? First, dangerous enemies. What is the dangerous enemies? Dangerous enemies like what? Like insects, okay, bacteria, grazing animals, fungi, viruses. This is found in plants, okay. The insects that invade the plant, like the pesticides, any pesticides that make the crop or eaten the crop, bacteria type or unicellular organisms that may invade the plants, grazing animals that found inside the cultivated land without any control, fungi and viruses. What is the harmful effect? These are insects, bacteria, grazing animal, fungi, viruses. They often cause severe damage. They may lead to destroying of the plant's life or causing dangerous disease to it. Okay, bacteria may be damage all the crop. Okay, also fungi. The second type or causes of the plant, what happens to the plant? Unsuitable conditions. What are the unsuitable conditions? Unsuitable conditions for the plant like high temperature, excessive cold, increase or decrease in the amount of water, means increase in the amount of water or decrease the amount of water lead to damage of the plant. Why? Because this lead to change the percentage of oxygen. If the plant cannot take the oxygen needed or required for make the respiration process by increasing or decreasing the amount of water. So when you irrigate the plant, you must take care that the amount of water that follow in suitable amount. Number 3, deficiency of nutrient. What is the deficiency of nutrient? Deficiency means decrease in the number of nutrients. Like what? Like sodium, potassium, calcium. This is elements that found inside the fertilizers inside the soil. If the amount of the nutrient or amount of sodium, potassium, calcium, sulfate, permanganate, all of these nutrients is not sufficient for the plant, there is make the plant not grow well. Number 3, unsuitable soil. What is the unsuitable soil? If you cultivate a plant in a soil not suitable for it, like what? Like if you cultivate orange in sand soil instead of sealed soil, okay, what happens? The crop cannot be formed. So what is the harmful effect? They cause harms that can be avoided or treated by the means the cause, although some element of the toxic substance may be lethal to the plant. If this nutrient is not sufficient, this leads to lethal of the plant. And now, the methods of immunity in plant. What are the methods for immunity in plant? Number 1, there are 2 types of immunity. First, structural immunity, and the second, biochemical immunity. What is the structural immunity? Structural immunity includes, number 1, pre-existing structure defense and induced structure defense. What are pre-existing? Pre-existing that is found inside the structure of the human or the structure of the plant. Number 2, the induced structure defense means this the body makes this defense to increase the immune system. Let us to describe what are the pre-existing structure defense. The pre-existing like what? Like the epidermal cells of the plant. The plant surface or the plant structure of the plant start with, you know that is the plant, the methods for the plant formation. Plant consists of, number 1, the first layer is epidermis layer, and the second layer followed by the cortex. This is the found in the structure of the plant. First epidermis, and this epidermis may be found or covered with the cutin. The cutin, which prevents the loss of the water, found in the leaves and found in some parts of the plant. Cutin is a layer which may an important role in the protective the plant against many microbes or invasion of the viruses, bacteria, pathogen. Any pathogen can enter the plant. This cutin prevent it. Also, the first defense for the plant, the epidermal. Epidermal means the like the skin in the human epidermis in the plant consists of two layers, epidermal and cortex. This protect the plant from invasion of any microbes. Structure of polysaccharides, carbohydrates, and also formation of cork. What is the cork? Cork is a layer of the plant that make protection for the plant from many diseases. Also tylosis. Tylosis and the deposition of gum from the methods that come from the pre-existing structure defense for the plant. Cellular immune system, or the immunity, like getting rid of injured tissue, like any tissue that found or make hypersensitive response, the plant can remove it to increase its immunity. Okay, what is the second? What is the biochemical immunity? Biochemical immunity represented by some receptors. These receptors found in the cell wall of the plant. These receptors organizes the presence of pathogens which activate the plant defense. Also the presence of number 2, antimicrobial chemicals. Antimicrobial chemicals, some substance that found or we can spray it on the plant to prevent the growth of microbes. Phenol, glycosides, non-protein amino acids, including toxic chemical compound. Number 3, antimicrobial protein. The antimicrobial protein such as detoxifying enzymes. These detoxifying enzymes found in the structure of the plant tissue. In the pupil post-infection, and this is from the micro or biochemical immunity. We describe each one firstly or alone. Number 1, from the structure immunity, natural barrier or structures that present in the plant and represent the first line for defense. This is the first line of defense to prevent the pathogens from entering and spreading inside the plant. Okay, to make this pathogen not enter inside the plant. This is the first pathogen or the first barrier for defense against the pathogen. What is the epidermis? The epidermis acts as the first bulwark in the resistance of the pathogen. Why? Why this is the first? As it is characterized by some defense structure. This waxy layer prevents the entrance or prevent the formation of the water, making the water go out of the leaves rapidly. Also the hairs and spines. Hairs or spine or horns found in the epidermis prevent the animal or prevent any pathogen to found on the leaf. Hairs or thorns that avoid the accumulation of water. We said that the hairs also and thorns like the spiny, they are found in the desert plant. They decrease the water and decrease the chance of infection with disease, being eaten by the grazing animals and prevent also eating by these grazing animals. What is the cell wall? Cell wall, it is the outer protection of the cell, and this is especially the epidermal cell. Maybe deposit on it lignin that makes the cell wall become rigid. When the cell wall become rigid, it prevents the penetration of any pathogen to enter, like prevent bacteria or pathogen or viruses, spores, any germs to enter inside the plant cell. What is the induced structure defense? The induced structure defense like the formation of cork. Formation of cork or phylum, this is or formation of tylosis, that is the plant undergo invasion or some crack inside the plant, crack or holes inside the plant structure. What can the plant do? It formed the cork or tylosis. This tylosis to close the opening, prevent any germs to enter. Tylosis, overgrowth of the protoplast Okay, the tyloses means overgrowth of the protoplast of the adjacent living parenchymatous cells, which protrude into the xylem vessels, okay, and tracheids through the pits. These tyloses happen when there is an overgrowth of the protoplasm. Protoplast means the cytoplasm of the cell, okay, and this is occur when there is an invasion or crack inside the plant. The xylem vessels, which enable the plant to transport the water from the roots to the leaves, make these tyloses to prevent the invasion of any microbes. Tyloses are formed as a result of exposure of the plant vascular system to cut or invasion by pathogen. What is the vascular system? The vascular system means the xylem and the phloem. What happens when there is a xylem or phloem invasion? If there is a cut happen inside the vascular tissue of the plant, what is the vascular tissue? Vascular tissue means that the xylem vessels which transmit or transport the water from the roots to the leaves, also the phloem which transmit the food from the leaves to all plant part. If there is a cut happens inside the tracheids in the xylem or happen inside the sieve plate in the phloem, what undergo the plant? The plant make tyloses. This tyloses is an overgrowth of the protoplasm. The overgrowth of protoplasm make a close for the opening that happens inside the vessel. When they close this open, they prevent the invasion of pathogens. So the germs, microbes, viruses, bacteria cannot enter the plant through this. And this is a method for how to overcome or how to invasion the existence of microbes inside the plant tissue. Importance of tyloses: they obstruct, means prevent, the movement of pathogen to the other part of the plant. Number 3, deposition of gums. What is the gum? Gum, the infected plant by wound or cutting secretes the gum. Like the human, if there is a cut inside the human produce platelets with the blood. These platelets may lead to prevent the bleeding or make the bleeding not happen. Like in plant, deposition of these gums, cutting or covering the cut by or the cut, this cut or wound secretes the gum around the locus or infection, and this is to prevent the entry of microbes inside the plant through this cutting or tearing. Also, plant like the human protect itself from enemies by this natural defense. What is the biochemical immunity? Biochemical immunity, it is the responses of the plant to secrete chemical compound against the pathogen. Means the plant will secrete some chemicals to kill the microbes. What are these chemicals? The biochemical immunity includes the following defense mechanics: receptors that recognize the presence of pathogen and activate the plant defense. This is found on the cell wall of the plant. In cell wall of the plant, there is a receptors which activate the plant to defend about itself. Antimicrobial chemical. What is the antimicrobial chemicals? Like phenols and glycosides, also non-protein amino acids, antimicrobial protein, indicable post-infection. This is some types of biochemical substance that the plant need to defend against microbes. What is the structure immunity? Structure immunity, natural barrier that present in plant and represent the first line of defense, prevent the pathogen from entering and spreading inside the plant. And this includes the two defense mechanism, pre-existing structure defense that represented by epidermal cell wall of the plant, like the cell wall that made of cellulose, which cover with cutin, that prevent the entrance of any microbial inside the plant. Induced structure defense, resulting as response of infection, which is presented by formation of cord and formation of tyloses. This is the summary of the last presentation. Deposition of gum or cellular immune structure, getting rid of injured tissue or hypersensitive response. Summary for biochemical immunity, responses of the plant to secrete chemicals against the pathogens, and this include tyloses, antimicrobial chemicals such as phenol glycosides, non-protein amino acids, and antimicrobial proteins such as detoxifying enzyme in decouple post-infection. What is the role of human in protecting the plant against the pathogen? Number one, due to the importance of the plant to human, the human uses methods and introduces means to protect the plant from disease, such as what? Number one, using herbicides to protect the plant from harmful weeds. Okay, herbicides means like the pesticides. This is a type of chemical substance added to the plant to kill any harmful insect found inside the plant. Number two, the human also struggling the insect in different way. Struggling means killing or making them away from the plant by different ways, by using insecticides, by using the natural barrier which can feed on the insect to prevent it from damage the crop. Number three, from the human also, what can the human make to increase the immunity of the plant? Stimulating the plant to resist the plant disease, and it is known as acquired immunity. Number four, producing strains of plants that are resistant to disease and insects through plant breeding or using genetic engineering. If there is a cut happen inside the vascular tissue of the plant, what is the vascular tissue? Vascular tissue means that the xylem vessels which transmit or transport the water from the roots to the leaves, also the phloem which transmit the food from the leaves to all plant part. If there is a cut happens inside the tracheids in the xylem or happen inside the sieve plate in the phloem, what undergo the plant? The plant make tyloses. This tyloses is an overgrowth of the protoplasm. The overgrowth of protoplasm make a close for the opening that happens inside the vessel. When they close this open, they prevent the invasion of pathogens. So the germs, microbes, viruses, bacteria cannot enter the plant through this. And this is a method for how to overcome or how to invasion the existence of microbes inside the plant tissue. Importance of tyloses, they obstruct means prevent the movement of pathogen to the other part of the plant. Number three, deposition of gums. What is the gum? Gum, the infected plant by wound or cutting secretes the gum. Like the human, if there is a cut inside the human produce platelets with the blood. These platelets may lead to prevent the bleeding or make the bleeding not happen. Like in plant, deposition of these gums, cutting or covering the cut this cut or wound secretes the gum around the locus or infection. And this is to prevent the entry of microbes inside the plant through this cutting or tearing. Also, plant like the human protect itself from enemies by this natural defense. Dear students, in these lessons we describe the immunity in plant and how can the plant protect itself from natural enemies found in nature, and how can the plant protect also them from many diseases like the viruses, microbes, the bacteria. How can we how can the human protect or help the plant to escape from any enemies or to survive its life without the producing of bacteria, viruses, pathogens that make this for the plant crop. I hope you enjoy our time today, and I wish new sessions with new properties. Thank you for your watching. See you again. Goodbye.